Alright guys, how's it going? So I managed to find another cartridge for the Binatone Superstar Pong console. As you can see, this one's called Knockout, and it is one of the ones that was advertised on the outer box for the Superstar. The naming of the games in this is a bit weird. For some reason, number 1 is Wipeout 4, number 2 is Wipeout 3, etc, etc. Doesn't seem to make much sense the way they've ordered those. Basically, this is another Pong cartridge. I have tested this. It is working. Again, the label is peeling. Seems to be common with all these. So yeah, this is just basically more variations of Pong. So this is the first game on the list, which is Wipeout 4, apparently. Number 1 on the game selection buttons. Like I said, this is basically Pong. This is 2-player. I'm here on my own, so I won't be able to show you much here, but basically you get scored for hitting the blue dots, and whoever has the highest score at the end obviously wins. And when the ball hits the blue paddle, it turns blue. Then if it touches any of the blue dots, obviously he will get the score. When it hits the yellow paddle, it turns yellow, then that person would get the score. This is the next one, called Wipeout 3, and it's pretty much exactly the same as the last one, only there's no escape for the ball, so the ball will just stay in the court. Again, you get the picture. When the ball touches your paddle, it turns to your colour, and you will score points when it hits the blue dots. This is Wipeout 2. It's exactly the same as the first one there, Wipeout 4, only there's no partition in the middle. I'll just show you the difference. That's Wipeout 4. This is Wipeout 2. So it's exactly the same. So the next game is called Breakthrough 2, and it's basically Pong with a breakout type twist to it. I'm sure you can get the idea without me even explaining it. And the next one is Wipeout 1, which is a single player game. So it's basically squash, but you have to take the blue dots away. I was actually playing this yesterday, and when you take all the blue dots away, the game doesn't end. So once you've got all the blue dots, the scoring stops, but the game continues, so it doesn't really have an end, which doesn't make much sense. The next one is Breakthrough 1, which is the same thing, single player, with a wall to break through. This is another one that doesn't really make much sense, because once you break a hole through that blue barrier, your ball, when your ball disappears off the other side of the court, you lose a life, basically. So it's practically impossible to get the last couple of blue squares to disappear. You're just going to keep flying off the side, off to the right. So this one is called Coloured Squares, which is exactly the same as the Wipeout games, but as you can see we have different coloured squares now. And you just seem to get 1 point for each colour. If you can see there, when the ball hits the back wall, it changes to blue. When it hits your paddle, it changes to yellow. So your ball needs to be the right colour when it touches the appropriate colour ball for it to pick it up. So a yellow ball can't pick up a blue square, vice versa. So this next one is Coloured Squares 3, and it's identical to the last one, but it's now 2-player, and we have a partition in the centre. And again, you need to have the ball the right colour to pick up the right coloured squares. The next one is exactly the same, only there's no partition in the centre. And the very last one, which again is Coloured Squares number 1, this is Coloured Squares 1. It's exactly the same as the last game, only it's now single player. So instead of moving each player moving a paddle, on this version player 1 moves both paddles. So it's basically a single player game with the same variation as the last game for 2-player. So there you go, that's my third cartridge for the Binatone Superstar. As far as I can tell, there's only one more to get. So according to the box, it's called Stunt Rider. So I have Super 10, Brands Hatch and Knockout. So the only one advertised on the box that I don't have is Stunt Rider. I've no idea, like I said before, how many cartridges were made for this thing. There's only 4 advertised on the box, so at this point I'm assuming there's only 4 cartridges. So I only have 1 left to get, which is pretty cool. Yeah, after I made the last video about the Brands Hatch cartridge, I just happened to go onto eBay and I found Knockout. So yeah, pretty cool. So hope you enjoyed watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.